I loved when you were on stage. We'll talk
I
about
love
that.
you, bro.
Let's go.
I can't
All right,
wait. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, brother.
All right.
So welcome everybody to the Resilient Minds podcast. I'm super grateful to be here today and to serve and support you guys along a good friend of mine that I've actually had the pleasure of meeting last year. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ. Today he's regarded today as one of the best and most talented tight ends in the history of the NFL. And honestly, known for his eternal positivity that he brings both on and off the field and continues to bring to this day. And Mr. Rob Gronkowski, those of you guys that don't know him as Gronk. Welcome, brother.
Yes, or when we were in Australia, they would know me as a big unit. That's what they would be calling me on the street. That's a big unit.
The big unit, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating, bro.
Yes, man. I actually love that you named the big unit because in Australia when we were there, like the Australians really don't really watch football or anything, so they didn't really know who I was, but they all were looking at me like, man, that guy. They were all like looking at me and stunned, like they didn't know what to say because I'm tall. I'm like 6'6", 6'7", and they're like, "That's a big unit." And it was my favorite name to this day I've ever been called.
I remember literally, dude, after we ended up, well, we'll get into that. So after we ended up getting into, Date with Destiny, because that's, literally how we met. For those of you guys that are listening right now, Rob and I, we met at Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny in Australia. And, we actually were on the same team.
Yes, we were. We were on the same team at Date with Destiny. Well, what were we? Team A? I'm not really sure our team name.
Team 1.
Team 1. All right. Team A, Team 1, same thing.
Do you remember the chant though?
Oh.
Go on.
Oh, I just got to hear it.
Go on. I remember it.
Oh, it was hyped though. Our chant was hyped. Our chant
Team
was super
1.
hyped.
We are fun.
Are fun.
Team 1.
We are fun. Team 1. We are fun. Team 1. We are fun.
We are fun. Team 1. We are fun.
We are fun. Team 1. We are fun. I remember, but it wasn't even about the chant. It was about how our team was just bringing it. It wasn't like we were sitting back and being like, Team 1. We are fun. It was like the whole entire team was going, Team 1. We are fun. Like a high-paced energy.
Remember, and every time, like we were going crazy in the front, like just going crazy.
Oh, and then you were leading it, and you were the number one craziest person on our team for sure, hands down. And then you had your muscle shirt on. You were the most jacked in the whole entire arena, and then you had your muscle shirt on. So like everyone behind you on our team had to pick it up because we have a guy that's the most jacked in the whole league, in the whole arena. I mean, we got to pick it up with you, man.
It's fun, bro. It was fun. And you guys, that's saying a lot, bro, coming from, the energy that was bringing it to the whole NFL, bro. That's saying a lot. Yeah. So thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So,
no
bro,
problem.
Many people, Rob, they know you, as what your accomplishments today. They know you, for all the stuff that you've done, all the amazing things that you've accomplished, with New England. And correct me if I'm wrong, but recently it's been when I met you in Date with Destiny, that was just recent after you retired. Am I wrong?
Yes, that was about 2 months after I retired. The Date with Destiny, that was in May, wasn't it? May?
Yep.
May, yes. And what was the exact dates again? And I retired in about mid-March, so it was about 2 months after. Or was it April?
Yeah, so it was mid-May we were.
Yeah, mid-May. So yeah, about 2 months after I retired, I went to Date with Destiny.
Wow, man. So literally just after that happened, you're going through a huge transition.
Yes, huge transition. So it was huge actually to go there. I mean, the flight, it was a little long. I came 1 day late, actually, because I had something going on. I showed up directly off. I flew into Melbourne, or it was Sydney first. I landed there and then went up to, where was it again? What city? and then flew
Cans,
into
cans.
Cairns, and then went right off the plane, dude. What was a 30-hour flight, like 24 hours
Yeah,
flight, and then went right
so
into
far.
it, man. So slept on the plane, went right into it. So, yes, go boom.
The
So yeah,
boom,
but
the
about 2 months after I retired, it was perfect, man. Date with Destiny. That was a perfect way to start retirement, man, because it's a whole new chapter. I mean, I've been playing football my whole life from, or I wouldn't say just football. I would be saying I was playing sports since I was 4 years old, every single day, playing in organizations, playing in team leagues, all the way up to the age when I retired was 29. So going to Date with Destiny was definitely a way to start off a new chapter. So if I have to recommend to anyone, if they're going into a new transition, a new phase in their life, that they shall think about going to a Date with Destiny or another Tony Robbins event. Definitely put you on track and get you the right steps to where you need to go.
100%, man. It was something that really it changed. Like even I was totally, just focused all in my head, none in my heart at that time. And Day with Destiny changed like the trajectory of where I was focused with heart-led leadership and really thinking about what holding on to those past experiences or stories that we kept telling ourselves, right? So for you, I'm curious to know, and I'm sure so many people are curious to know, like what specifically was it for you at Date with Destiny, that really changed that trajectory, or helped you pivot and open a little bit more. I know for me, like it was my heart, my love, right? Like just my heart, like that was really a big thing for me. So I'm just curious to know.
Yes, that's actually true, man. After being pounded in football and everything for like 9 years in the league and the pros and everything, and you kind of just get into a groove uh, every single year. It's just like a routine. It was the same routine I was doing, and I was getting beat up, and then I was kind of doing things the wrong way too. Wasn't really recovering my body the right way. Kind of like yourself. Like if you're doing that type of stuff, you can't. It's your recovery rate goes up times like 100. I was boozing after games, after getting hit full speed, dude. Like how hard that is to bounce right back and then go to a following game. So I was basically getting through with just a mindset. So and I was in that routine. So I wanted to open up more, man. I wanted go to Date with Destiny, open up, see what else was out there, because, just playing a sport your whole life, you just think that that's what everyone does. And that's what is the only thing out there. And when I got the Date with Destiny, met so many other people, and it just opened my mind. And that's what I wanted to go to. That was the reason I wanted to get there, was to open my mind, to know what else is out there, for myself, and to open up to more feelings in my life too. I wasn't 100% sure what I was getting into, but I mean, I knew a little bit about it from a friend, from the explanation. But when she told me about it, I knew that was the path that I needed to go on and go there, and it just opened me up so much. Towards my favorite thing that I learned there, like you said, with love, like that, who doesn't want love in their life?
Yeah.
I mean, it made me understand what love truly was, because I've had that feeling before in life, love, and sometimes you don't have it. And
Yeah.
you understand that going to Date with Destiny, that love is basically the number one thing out there, man. And for real. And before, sometimes
100%.
you would shun away from it because you really didn't know what it was. So finding that love feeling, I've had that before back in the day. Maybe it was middle school or high school or in college at sometimes, and then you're like, this is awesome, but you still shun away from it because you didn't really know what it was. Going to Date with Destiny, it explained everything to you. It opened your mind to what truly matters. Because say you had love, or you loved something so much when you were in college, just give me an example, and you shunned yourself away from it because you just weren't sure. You thought it would be cool to go the other way because you're in college and you wanted to impress someone. So you would walk away from what you love just to go impress someone else. But going to Date with Destiny keeps you on track, keeps you that love and all those great feelings are what it's all about, and opening up your mind to greater things, not just what you think is out there.
Yeah, dude, I honestly, I can completely relate to that. And it's fascinating too that, like we're masculine men, right? Like total like guys, you know?
Yeah,
And
guys,
for,
we are.
yeah.
That's why we're that's
And for
why
us
we're
to
jacked.
that's why I went jacked, you know, and it's fascinating because you know it's so different when we can go to a place like that and just be comfortable with talking about, you know, the love that we have for life, the love that we have for people, you know, the love that we want to share with the universe, the love that we want to share with it doesn't matter whoever, anybody really, right? And that has really, you know, rather than just focusing so much inward, like on only ourselves, how we can start, you know, leading by example, or, you know, leading by loving other individuals. And I think that that's so powerful, especially in leadership nowadays. You know, Tony always says, he says, you know, if I was only masculine, if I was only focused on masculinity, that room would be half full, right? It's because he's a combination of that feminine and masculine energy. And I think that, you know, we both bring that to the table, which is why, you know, you definitely, I've seen, you know, you have, like, even I was looking at one of your interviews, and you mentioned when football was really bringing you down and you were losing that joy of life, right? That was like a heartfelt moment, right? Because you sensed something, an emotion that was really something that, like, you felt back
Yes.
some, right?
Yes, and that, and talking about masculinity is that, you know, back in the day, like, even though like it would not become joyful anymore, but the masculinity in me would be like, oh, I'm a football player, you know, I'm still doing it. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I have to do. Like, you know what I mean? Even though deep down, you know that it's not joyful anymore, but the masculinity in us will just be fighting through it and will never let that emotion show that things aren't really going that well. So that was huge, actually. That was a huge relief to have that press conference. I mean, it felt good because everyone just thinks we're out there, that we can just keep on fighting through everything, but we're humans too. We break down too. And to let everyone know, like, you know, because that joy that wasn't there anymore, it felt good to get that relief off of me. It felt good to explain, because everyone was wondering why, like, what's going on? He's a football player, you know, he should, that's what they do. But no, man, I was losing that joy, and it felt good, but it was hard to, you know, just go out there and be like, hey, I you know, I don't have the joy. I'm beat up. I'm losing it. To go out there as a football player and say that is tough at the same time. But I did
100%,
it,
man.
and let me tell you, it felt good. That's why I started tearing, and that those emotions feel great, dog, when that happened.
Honestly, man, I can tell you that, like, I feel that that is true power, right? Like, I remember having shame associated with, like, if I would tear up as a man or things like that, because society teaches us that we need to be these hard fucking dudes, right? And to be honest, man, it was like I just felt like, you know, now I feel like that's grace, that's God, that's something greater than myself that comes in through us when we are able to
Yeah.
just show great emotion.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. Wow, man. I like that. Wow. That was
Yeah,
good. I like that one.
it's
That's true.
it's
That's
fucking
true.
grace, bro. It's grace coming
It
down
is.
on us, you know, showing
It
us
is.
grace and power that we have within us, and how we can, like, be great to so many individuals, help people, and dude, you know, like, the leadership that you've accomplished over the last 10 years, and where you're headed over the next 30, you know what I mean? Like, that's just right now is just a small inkling of where you're going, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And
I
it all
do,
comes
man.
from within, that resilience, right?
Yes, it does, man. Wow. I like this. Man, I
I
like,
love
you know, coming on this podcast. You're teaching me right now. You're giving me tips again. You're refreshing me. I love it. Thank you.
I love you, brother. Yeah, blessings, dude, man. Thank you, man. You know, so you know what, Rob, listen, I know, I know that, like I said, you know, that there's gonna be, you know, so many people out there that are very curious about, you know, your football, all of this. But I want to really just go deeper with you, bro. I want to know more about you. You know, like, so, you know, tell me a little bit, or tell the listeners at least, you know, tell us the beginning. You know, like, I believe that, you know, we've all, you know, our X factor becomes our Y factor. And essentially that's our resilient mind, I believe. And as we continue to fight through, right, we make commitments, right? We push through. And you talked about that masculinity of like pushing through and making things happen. But, there's a deeper understanding from all of that. So, what's been like, what was been your formula? Like, where did you start? What was your formula for success, bro?
Oh man, my formula for success. I mean, I would say learned from my parents at the beginning and looking at my older brothers growing up, definitely. And when we were younger, my dad gave us, a little formula. He left it up to us, our option if we wanted to do it or not. He brought us into the basement. He's been selling fitness equipment for 30 years now. So he had a little weight room in the basement of our house, and he brought us downstairs, my brothers and I, when we were in 7th grade, and he gave us the option of, hey man, like, if you want to get bigger, you want to get stronger, if you want to be better than those out there, you gotta put the work in, you gotta put the time in, you gotta come down here, you gotta get stronger, you gotta lift, and we gotta do it the right way. And my brothers, they were on that program, and I was younger than them. And being at that age, 7th grade, and looking at my brother who's in 10th grade, man, at that stage in life, you're looking at him like, whoa, he looks like a superhero, like the size that he has, like a big bicep, big arms.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to get in the gym. So my brothers were ahead of me. My dad, I'm working out with my dad in the basement, starting at that age. And that's when it started clicking and understanding, because then that's when I started getting super strong and stronger than a lot of guys out there, and faster, because I started putting the work in the right age. So that's when it started clicking, is that you got to put the work in. Got that at a young age, is that you got to put the work in order to achieve something. It's not like, there's some people that are out there that are super blessed where they can just show up and like they just have it. Like there is some people like that, but majority like myself, I learned at a young age is that you got to put the work in. And then with my mother too, man, she was always on top of us with the schoolwork, and she had 5 of us sons, so her scheduling was like crazy. So I actually learned at a young age too. We learned from my mother, like, the planning. You got to have a plan. You got to have a schedule. You got to be organized. And that's what she was so great at. And that's, I learned that from her too. And actually she has a calendar. I'm at her house right now, actually. And she has a calendar on the wall, and I still use my calendar. I carry my calendar everywhere with me. I don't use my phone or anything. I have to write it down. And that's how my mother was, like, always. So I definitely got that trait from her, because everyone's like, man, how do your schedule, it's all, you're crazy. How are you there and there? I mean, I just hold a calendar on with me and just write it in my calendar. If something pops up and I go, let me check my calendar. I look at it and I'm like, no, I can't do that day. I already have something. It makes it that easy. So, just learning at a young age, man. I was blessed at a young age to have older brothers, have friends on the street, to put that work in, that dedication, and learn at that age that you got to work hard, man. It's nothing's given, man. And you got to keep grinding. If you want to keep fighting, and if you want to beat something, if you want to just overcome anything, have the resilience to overcome anything, you got to keep putting that work in and day out. And it's not just about doing it one time either, man. That's why I learned too, not 1 or 2 times or 3 times. It's about doing it on a consistent basis, week in and week out, for sure.
Dude, and that consistency, right? It's king. It's absolutely king. And
dude,
what's been the biggest thing for you that, like, because I'm certain that throughout, the past, 15 years, there was probably plenty of setbacks where, you were like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Just had to make the big choice of, pushing through. Do you want to just share maybe one big setback that maybe you felt, and then, you were like, no, I'm still going. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I would say that I would go with my injuries. I had about 9 surgeries in my life. And there was like one time in my professional career where, everyone was saying that there's no way he's going to come back. I was only like 24 years old. And it just, just drove me, man. It just drove me that I was just going to keep on fighting through it. And every day, wake up, do the rehab, do the workouts, do everything I needed to do. And I bounced back every single time, man. Even if I was having 2 surgeries in the same week, I would still find a way within within those months to get the rehab done, to do what I needed to do, to bounce back and get back out in the field. And then also I would say another time is I remember this. This started like when I was young because I was a good athlete when I was young, but I was in trouble a lot in school, and all my either my teachers loved me or loved me, or they didn't like me. And so I was actually in the principal's office one time, and my dad was in there, and he's just he's just talking like he's talking to myself, like telling, because I was dominant in 8th grade. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I was dominant at that age still. But I was goofball. I was messing around, getting in trouble all the time because I just knew like I was just dominant. It was going to bring me to the next levels. So then he was telling me that, hey, it's athletics are only going to bring you so far. And I remember that exactly. He said right from my dad. And then he said, like, my son was all American and all this. He's in college and now he's nothing. And I was just sitting there in my head, like, like, yo, I ain't your son. And I'm going to just keep going until I just keep, I'm just going to keep going until I hit that next level. And I just knew it in my head, even at that age, even when teachers would tell me, oh, it's on. Wow. They used to always tell me it's only going to bring me so far. But at the same time, I already had that mindset. It is going to bring me so far because it's going to bring me, because I'm not going to stop all the way. It's going to bring me. So I actually had that mindset that I was going all the way from the beginning when I was young. I didn't know what sport or anything, but I just had this crazy mindset when I was young that I was going all the way, and I was consistent with it. I did all my workouts. I never missed training when I was growing through high school, going through college, in the pros. So, man, I just had that mindset installed in me to keep on going at a young age, man. And even though people were always telling me, oh, he's not going to make it because of this reason, that reason, man, I just knew if I just kept going and consistent with it, that it's going to bring you all the way then. But you got to be on top of it. And then also at the same time, man, I did learn to chill out. Like, I was doing crazy things. Like, I had to do my schoolwork, everything like that, because that's a big part of it too, man. You got to be well-rounded.
For sure, of course. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, which is true, though. Athletics will only bring you to a certain level if you're not well-rounded. And I started noticing that, too, that, that I wasn't maybe not going to make it if you keep getting in trouble. So that was one thing I did take away, though, from all of that, too, when the teachers were telling me and people were telling me around me is that it did shape me up to be a well-rounded person, which is good.
I love that. I think it's amazing. And the fact is too, you mentioned about your mom and dad, right? And you know, I believe my parents saved my life, right? In so many different ways. And my father, he had so many different, I would say he's the best life coach that life gave me, is my pops. So is it like, did your, and you kind of mentioned your dad, like, really, being, really important in your life. Same with your mom. And which is cool, because by the end of this, we have to make sure that you say hi, mom, because I saw that.
Oh yeah. Hi, mom. Yeah. I did that on New Year's, right? Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
On the New Year's one, when it was, wow, incredible. Yes. She's always wanted a hi, mom. And I said it a few times after games, but you don't really know when the camera is live or not, like what TV station it is. So she's never seen it. So it was New Year's, I was like, oh, this is perfect time. I know we're live, we're on Fox, and I hit it perfectly at the right time, man. It was money, man. Thank you. Hi, mom.
I love it. Hi, mom. I love it. That's sweet. So your pops, he's been a really, really strong figure for you that helped you build that mindset in the first place, right?
Yes.
Along with your brothers, of course, and helping you get there, right? Because I found that for me, like, share maybe some of your experience, because for me, my pops, I would say he guided me in a really big direction in the right way by just asking me the right questions and really giving me great sound advice. How was that relationship?
Oh, it's great, man. Definitely. What was special was that, all the advice, I was getting was that what was cool was I had 3 older brothers. So they were going through the whole process of life, of athletics, of going to college and everything. So like when I was the 4th one coming, I mean, my dad, my brothers, they all went through the stages already. So what they learned, what they didn't learn, what helped them out through the recruiting process, what didn't help them out. I had all those facts. They've been through it all, so they know what to understand. They know what the coaches are going to say. So My dad just, helped me through that whole entire process of talking to coaches, getting recruited to the next level where I want to go, and all that. And basically, like, my whole life has been all about sports, but at the same time, it was about grades too. My parents were always hounding me on the schoolwork, man. My mom always helped me with my homework. My dad always made sure we had the grades that we needed to do. Always reminded us that we needed it. And then, like, to this day, I remember that when I was in college, I started seeing athletes that were really talented, but they weren't allowed to play on the field because their grades weren't, up to the par. They weren't passing, so they weren't allowed to be on the field. And I was just like, dang, that's tough. I mean, now I truly understand what my parents were saying, that you got to keep your grades up and be well-rounded, or else you're not going to be able to get on the field. So when I saw that, and I was like, dang, I can't get the field taken away from me because my grades aren't up. So, man, just seeing the whole aspect and everything like that, man, he's just helped out big time, man. My parents definitely led me on the right path and helped me out big time.
I love that, dude. And I think it's so important. We're so blessed to have such amazing parents, bro. We are.
Yes, big time, man.
So when it comes to your recovery, bro, I'd love to know, what has it meant for you when it comes to, like, your mind? I know, we talked about, Date with Destiny briefly, but, like, mind, body, spirit, I know you've been doing a lot of things like, healing, things like this that have really changed, internally from within. So tell me, how does that, like, been? Because, I honestly, I've always, it's funny because once I've started to work from within, I started to really see how much more our strength can shine, really, because now we're able to heal from inside and then able to project more. And bro, like, you've always been this eternal positive human, always the life of the party. And now, I'm assuming that it starts to amplify because you have more energy and you're feeling better and you're more, you're more, you're looking after yourself, right?
Yes. Yes, dude, in a way, man. I would definitely say that being the life of the party too also has took a damage on me too, because I was always going in thinking that I had to be life of the party, man. You know what I mean? Like I needed that attention. I don't like you it wasn't it like maybe I wasn't feeling love at the moment or feeling passion or something. So I feel like I had to be the life of the party to get, like, at that moment, to, I don't know, maybe get the attention I wanted to feel good or something, you know what I mean? So then I would be, to be the life of the party, you'd be drinking a lot, you'd be hammered, and that necessarily, sometimes it would be great, and then sometimes, it wasn't the way to go. And going to, you learn your lessons over the life, and going to Date with Destiny, man, I'm like, when I got there, man, I'm telling you, man, like, I had to, walk away from football because, the party was kind of over, I felt like. But I knew in my mind that it could still go on. It needs a break, because, man, playing football 9 years, partying like that and drinking after games and stuff, it took a toll on me. I felt like I didn't have that power within me anymore. And that's why when I heard it, but I knew it though, I just couldn't project anything. I didn't have that energy that I wanted anymore. And I knew that Date with Destiny would be the first step to me getting back to where I needed to get to, how to find that power within, how to open up yourself to get that power, to get that energy back. And that was definitely one of my recovery tools was going to Date with Destiny, being around so many people. There's so many people that are already on top of their game, just going to Date with Destiny to stay on top of their game. There's people there that were full depressed going there to help work out of the depression and find power within themselves. I would say that, like, I was kind of like in a little bit in between. Like, I knew I still had it in me, but I couldn't. There was something, I was beat down. I was beat down. I needed to find that true power within again, and that's where healing started, man. Was Date with Destiny, and then just doing a lot of. That was kind of the internal healing, learning how to use the power of words, the power of affirmations, the power of love, passion, like what all that truly means. And then on top of it, there's actual physical healing too. Like, you know, getting body work done, you know, our friend Gabby getting her treatments done. Oh,
She's amazing.
Amazing. I just forgot what her treatments were called, because I just call them pokey, because we get poked. Oh my gosh. Oh man, what I just call it Pokemon because
it's the RPT Health or RPT Health.
No. Oh man, because I just call it poke. Oh man, but okay, with her wonderful treatments right there, getting massages, going out to the dead. I was out in the Dead Sea in Israel last year, going out to the Dead Sea, learning how learning how nature heals you too, learning the gifts from God on how to heal your body also. So he just didn't send gifts for just words that can heal you, for feelings that heal you. He's also sent, you know, he sent gifts down to this world that, you know, physically heal you too, like the Dead Sea, going outside and grounding yourself in sand, or just a walk on the ground in the grass to gain energy from the ground. Just so many different ways, man. It's incredible. Like even the ocean. The ocean's one of my favorite things. It has 6 minerals in it.
The ocean, bro. Same.
Oh, dude, the ocean's unbelievable, dude. You go in and it's a whole different ball game, man. It's crazy, man. The energy you get from that is just spectacular, man. I love the ocean more than anything. And there's about
the beautiful people that we know, you know.
Yes. Oh,
that brings so many other gifts.
Yes, and then also, yes, that is correct. And then the beautiful people, you know, and it's like when you get treatments, you want the beautiful people working on you. You just don't, you know, it's, you know, going to a random spot at the moment to get like a body work done or something is great. But when you truly know someone and how beautiful they are, and they're working on you and they're trying to help you recover too, that amplifies it up even more. And just being around all the great people at Date with Destiny, everyone has the same goal there, even though someone can be on top of the world at the moment, or someone can be at the bottom, you know, at the moment, everyone's there for the same purpose. And that's just to get better in any way.
You know, I have to say, Tony, like his presence and his like guidance and like the whole events that he runs, and how he like really, you know, makes that event, any of the events, really feel like he's looking after all of us. It really is something, you know. The man's a great leader. And I have to say that like it was just an honor to consistently be able to go and to these events and work on ourselves. And it's so many great leaders are going to come after him, and so many leaders have become before him. But like Tony, you know, he's really unique. He's very unique. It was really cool to be part of that. And I'm actually really grateful for him, because we got to, you know, connect because of him. You know what I mean? We got to get to know one another because of him. You know, it was funny because even after the event, we ended up connecting. And, you know, well, we went skydiving. You were a little bit heavy.
Hey, but what's funny is that everyone would be like, "Oh, so your friend's like really big and stuff," but like I'm just too tall and too jacked.
It was so funny. So for the listeners, we all went skydiving, and Rob couldn't go, so he took pictures from us falling out of the plane on the ground.
Oh, and I remember that Gabby's therapy. It's clavy therapy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, clavy therapy.
I'm just so used to calling it pokey therapy because you get poked, but it's clavy therapy. That's what it is. Man, dude, Tony is one of a kind, man. And it was a pleasure, man. I never met the guy before. I actually have some friends that have done stuff with him. I have some friends that follow him and everything. And when so it was an honor to just even see him in person. And dude, that dude is gifted, man. He's talented, and that's just an example of someone that's just using their gifts and using their talent and just helping out so many people in the world get to where they need to get to, man. It's something special, man. And definitely if I can make an impact on people in the way that he does it with others just throughout my life, I mean, that would be a blessing too. Like, just you just teaching me some stuff, just
and refreshing my mind that's just a blessing. We learned it from Tony, which is incredible.
Yeah, man. And honestly, dude, like we have so much gifts, right? Like you already had this essence. In fact, it's common knowledge, you know, and I wrote it down. People have said that you never let things get you down, you know? It's part of your essence, Rob. So give yourself that credit, bro. You're one of a kind, man. You're already, you know, impacting a bunch of people, millions of people already around the planet, you know, and there's tons of, you know, like, you know, forward movement happening. And, you know, I think right now more than ever, you know, people need to hear your voice. People need to know more about you. People need to see the blessing that you are, bro, because you're your big light and bright shining light in this world, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Eric, man. Same with you, man. This is really cool that you're doing this. And, you know, I'm so glad I came on, dude, to tell you the truth, man, because let me tell you what I've already done before coming on. I've actually haven't done some words of affirmation in you know, in like a week or two. And I don't like when I get away from it, but you know, I was coming on here and I was like, man, I saw my book and I was like, man, I got to get back on it. So look I was just already starting all my words of affirmation again this morning. I like just even going back to the basic ones, like I am joyful, I am happy, I am energetic, you know,
Yes.
I'm a part of God, I'm a part of the creation. I'm connected to the source, just all those good ones. I'm wealthy, I am energetic, all those good ones, man. And if you just, you know, I got away from it, but for like a week. But like I said, even a week might be too long to get away from. You got to be consistent. So, man, just coming on here, getting refreshed by you, I just want to say thank you for that, man. And thank you for, you know, having the podcast, getting me on, because I feel good, man. I feel good just doing this podcast.
Bro,
I'm ready to start my day now. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's 10:45, and I just did this with you, and I feel good, man. I appreciate that.
Dude, I appreciate you, you know, and you know, I honestly, I'm so grateful that we can, you know, stay connected and we can, you know, always just, you know, it feels like we literally just left off from where we were, you know what I mean? And honestly, those power virtues, those affirmations, you know, we're so grateful to be able to continue doing them. But, you know, before we finish off, and I know you got to go, I want to ask you a really funny question, a couple. So one's, did you actually dent the Vince Lombardi trophy?
Oh, yes, I did, man. I did. So Julian, we were warming up. Julian was warming up his iron because he was throwing out the first pitch and everything. We both were, and then you know, I just, you know, there's the trophy right there, and I just pretended to go up to the plate and just use it as a bat. And then he kept throwing some pitches, and I was like, hold on, I'm gonna give him a bunt. I was like, I'm gonna swing and hit it. And then just to show him, like, who's boss, like, I hit your ball. And then I was like, nah, I can't do that. And then I was like, oh, I can probably bunt it, though, at this thing. And I laid a bunt down, dude. And, dude, it was a bunt. It was just a great idea at the time. It really was. And the bunt was legendary. My form was spectacular at the moment. But, dude, I didn't think it was actually going to lay a dent either. And then it did lay a dent, and I was just pretending that it wasn't me at the moment. Yeah, I blamed it all on Julian. I was like, he threw the ball, he threw it, he threw the pitch.
You're amazing, dude. That's hilarious. So what's next for you, bro? What's the next 5 years look like for you? What's the next year, you know?
Oh man, you know, I really like staying active. I really love being, you know, in the fitness industry and staying active and working out. And, you know, started a couple.
Are you doing things with your brothers?
Yeah, we're doing everything. Yep, with my brothers, everything's evolved with them. I'm part of my brother's ice shaker company, which he started. It's a protein shaker company, but keeps your drink cold for over 24 hours. It's legit. So I got a little piece of that. You know, I help him with marketing. Kind of like, you know, he's the spokes guy of the drink because he came out with a great product. I wanted to be a part of it. Yep. So we teamed up in that atmosphere. And then we started a thing called Stadium Blitz, man. So it's a 5K, and we go around stadiums in the U.S., college or pro stadiums, and you run a 5K through the stadium. But within the 5K, there's 15 obstacles. So like about every quarter mile, there's an obstacle that you got to do. So sometimes you got to just stop right on the spot and do 20 jump ropes. The next one is 20 kettlebell swings. Maybe the next one is climbing up an A-frame. So you're climbing about 15 feet up in the air and climbing back down on the A-frame, which is my favorite. The A-frame is dope. And then there's other obstacles like you run through the ladder drills. So, dude, that's part of the fitness. And my family and I, we love fitness. We've been involved in that forever. So just things along the fitness line, having people come out. And what's so cool about that is it's kind of like it's kind of like the Tony Robbins seminars a little bit, but in a different way, meaning as an athletic world, there's people there that can run the obstacle course in no time. Like they have no problem doing it. And then also there's beginners there that are just starting to learn how athletics can bring you to the next level, how working out can you bring to the next level. So there's people like that are pros that are, what are those called? That triathlons that can run triathletes. Yep. And then there's people there that are just their families, and they're going for the first time, their first run ever, like a long distance run ever. So it can take them an hour and a half to finish. And then some people, it takes 30 minutes to finish. But what's cool about it is that it brings everyone together, and no one's there to prove that they beat each other. I mean, we have within your groups and friends, but as a whole, everyone's there to encourage each other.
I think I saw you guys were at Harvard.
And do well. Yeah, we were at Harvard. We did a little thing, a little talking thing. My brother Chris and my other brother Gord. Chris got in contact with the guy Matt Higgins, who's on Shark Tank, and he does a class at Harvard. So he brings in people and just talk about their business. So us three went in. We did a little 45-minute class class discussion with them. So me, baby, I'm Mr. Harvard. That's what I'm talking about. I got Harvard skills.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro, man.
Yes.
Dude, honestly, so, NFL, analyst on Fox, WWE, anything like that in the books?
I got, in the next 5 years, to tell you the truth, man, everything's up in the air right now. That's true. Because with everything going on in this world right now, too, everything on my schedule has been canceled. All the stadium blitzes I was talking about, all my the WWE stuff, I just finished that off. But other than that, I'm totally done with it. I literally don't have a thing on my schedule now. So literally,
it's all about embracing every day now.
Yes, now it's all about embracing every day and just taking one day at a time for real. And because you can't put anything on your schedule, you can't go anywhere or anything. So just embracing every day, trying to learn how I can be the best I can. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. You get bored, you just throw your arms up in the air, you just sit there on the couch and don't do a single thing. And I'm like, I don't like that mode. I like when I get in a mode where I'm doing things like this morning, writing the affirmations down instead of just sitting there thinking what I should be doing. I'm doing something. So, it's up in the air, man. I want to be.
Rob, we got to take all these great messages of yours, of these passion and purpose, and continue thriving it to the online space as you've been doing, bro. It's inspiring us.
Yeah, I got to get a little bit better at that, man. I'm not that good at, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that well at going on social media and blasting it all out there. I've never been like that. But I like when I'm in the zone and like someone's working out with me, it's like when I can do it the best, like and help teach and everything. But I feel like I can get a little bit better on that, and though we're putting things out on like social media and writing things up like in the descriptions and everything. I can definitely get better at that. Maybe that's one thing I can work on big time to help others and do it with a purpose. Not just put it out there just to put it out there, but do it with a purpose, man.
Yeah, bro. Your mission's there for a purpose, bro. You have a big purpose, bro. And like we all do. We all want to go out there. You just have way more reach than everybody else does. You know what I mean? So it's ability for you to impact even more people, which is beautiful, right? So, yes. Dude, last question I want to ask you, and where can you really feel or be yourself fully?
Oh wow, man, that's a good one. Where? Oh, I like I would say when I'm, working out with a group of friends, going out, to go play sports at like you know, at a basketball court or volleyball court, and just truly be myself. And also to truly be myself is if we go out and we go out somewhere where it's more of like a low key setting, man. It's not, you know, everyone all over the place, but just
I felt that 100%.
you do. That's a good question, man. And also when you feel like you have love in you at the time. So to tell you the truth, when you're feeling that, it doesn't really matter where you are at the moment. Is when you're feeling like passionate, you're feeling love and all that, then you can be yourself totally. But man, that's a good question though. You threw me off a little bit there, but I like it, man. I'm gonna think more about it too.
100%, man. And you know what, man? I feel like that was where we met, Brand. Is like you were at that level of, you know, just really, you know, happy, you know, loving. And when we connected, man, bro, it was beautiful to see, you know, and get to know you, man. You know, you, Gabby, you know, we've been able to stay connected, and it's been really, really beautiful. So, dude, what's one last thing is there one last thing that you want to just share to everybody in this time?
You know, stay positive, especially in this time, and find things, you know, to do, to stay active, and it's not necessarily physically active, but maybe just keeping your brain active, man, which is key, because if you're just sitting around during this time and not really doing anything, you start going a little crazy. I've done that before, and you start thinking of your old stories, and, you know, start creating new stories. You know, like we whipped out the game Scrabble. Me and my mom have played like 5 games of Scrabble now, and it just opens you up. You start thinking of new words. You're in the dictionary looking up new words. If you're trying to make up new words, you know, you're just expanding your mind. So just find any way to expand every day. And when you're stuck, you know, just, you know, whoever you're with, just tell them, be like, I'm stuck right now. I'm stuck. What should I do? What can we do? So, you know, just stay positive about all that.
Dude, I love it. I love it. That's right, guys. So stay positive, you know, look forward. We got so much blessings every single day when we wake up with a new blessing of a day, and, you know, new fresh air to breathe in. So thank you, Rob. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, bro. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the time. And, you know, I look forward to connecting in person real soon.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Eric, for having me. You know, keep going, stay consistent, baby. You will. I know you are. You're on top of it, man. You wouldn't be that jacked if you weren't consistent, baby. Yes. Thank you, man.
Blessings, Rob.
All right, take care.
Yeah, you too, bro. Take care of yourself.